Currently, I'm in my assignment groups, which is in the grade settings of Hawks. That's the fourth tab over. Let's navigate to this spot from grade settings. So if you click on grade settings, you will get the page that has grading options, assignment groups, the late penalty, attendance policy, and the letter grade definition. Okay, in assignment groups, I have this. I want to start here. I have created my quarter one assignment group, into which I have placed HLS lessons. Now, you do not have to have assignment groups in order to use Hawks. This comes in handy at the end of the quarter. At the end of the quarter, we end the grading period and we start again, but Hawks doesn't know that. And if you were to continue using your course template, you would accumulate an average based on quarter one and quarter two grades. We only at that point would want quarter two grades. So you would transfer all of the lessons that were in your HLS straight into your quarter one, and you would then create a new group, which you would call something like quarter two. At that time, you would put your HLS lesson file into quarter two. And you do that like this. You hit rearrange. Now that I'm in rearrange, I can see that I have quarter one, quarter two. In quarter one, I have my HLS lesson file. We want this to be transferred at the end of the quarter into the new quarter. So we click and drag it into quarter two. So now our HLS lessons would be in the file that we call quarter two. Quarter one will be empty of that file, but we can transfer all of the lessons that were in HLS out into quarter one and start with an empty HLS lessons folder for the new quarter. Hence, we will have a clean slate in terms of grades. If we don't do this, you have to create a whole new template and reassign your students to that, and then you and they cannot see their old grades from quarter one. And because we operate on semesters, it's nice to be able to see how you did in quarter one. And this enables you to do that. Now, this is just one way of doing this. There's as many ways that you can think of. Every person might want to do this differently. For example, some people may not want to set up these quarters until needed and just keep the HLS file by itself. And that's okay. I put it in quarter one at the beginning of the year just because I want it in quarter one. It doesn't have to be. You're going to want to transfer it into a new assignment group at the end of the quarter so that you can start with a clean slate in terms of grades. There we go. And you push save. Got it. Now, I'll go back to the assignment group page. You can set everything up all at the beginning of the year. You can have a quarter three and you can have a quarter four. I don't like the order they're in, so I'm going to rearrange. Close that up. 1, 2. Quarter 1. Quarter 2. Now everything's in order. Now, maybe you don't like what this looks like when you go into your Hawks gradebook, and you don't really want to see all these quarters cluttering everything up at the beginning of the year. That's okay. You can change it simply by taking them all out. You edit, delete, edit, delete. So it's really a personal preference if you want to set this up now and have it displayed with a column for quarter 3, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, or you don't have to have anything until you need it. Okay, here we are on the home page of Hawks, and I'm still dealing with grade assignment groups, but there's one thing that I haven't mentioned yet. So click on grade settings, go into grading options, and here you have some choices to make. But what does affect our assignment groups are these two down here. You can either click all sections for this instructor use the same set of assignment groups, and that is the feature you would want if you teach multiple sections of the same class. Like I teach 3 sections of integrated math 2, I could click that and all of my classes would have the same assignment groups. And that's okay. I did that last year. But this year, I'm using the pre-calculus software for 2 totally different classes, pre-calculus and honors functions and calculus 2. Honors function and calculus 2 starts at like chapter 6, whereas pre-cal starts in chapter 3. I can't have the same sets of assignments. So I would have to click one or more sections for this instructor use different assignment groups. Therefore, I can create my assignment groups based on the section I teach. So, if you teach 2 totally different classes using the same courseware, you would want this option. You would also want this option if you want to handle each class as its own entity, especially if you teach 2 different block days and you want an assignment due on a block day, or you want to give them more time because they saw the material after the Tuesday block. The Wednesday block would see the material one day later, so making something due on Thursday may be okay for the Tuesday block but not the Wednesday block. So this year, all 3 of my integrateds are all on Tuesday. In essence, I could use the same assignment groups for all 3 of my classes. In integrated, in pre-cal, I'd have to go here because honors functions and calculus 2, different story. So that's up to you to decide. And the other thing that's very important, when this is ultimately what makes assignment groups feasible, is HLS lessons can be moved into any assignment group. Okay, that has to be checked. Or else at the end of quarter 1, when we want to move the lessons from that are already finished, we extract them from HLS, put them in quarter 1, and then we move our HLS file into quarter 2, where it will be for that length of time. We wouldn't be able to move this around from quarter 1, 2, 3, 4 if that's not checked. So you really want to have this checked if you intend on using this feature, which I think is indispensable